Hello everyone, we are right back at it again. My name is Jack from Cultaholic Wrestling, and it's time to take a look at everything that happened at WrestleMania 41, Night 2. After the national anthem from Ava Max to close the pre-show, we get Stephanie McMahon opening the main portion of the show with a little speech and then officially welcoming us to Night 2 of WrestleMania. Fireworks, whee! The opening match is Io Sky defending the women's world title against Bianca Belair, who gets a special entrance and special attire but gets booed, and Rhea Ripley, who gets special attire and gets cheered. What does it all mean? The match begins with the usual thing they've been doing on TV, with the other two trying to shove Io aside, but she's ready for it this time and grabs their hands and lands the first offense of the match. Belair takes control. It's worth noting that she embraced the boos during the big ring announcements, and she lands right hands on both opponents in the corner, but then Io slips down and drags Bianca back down by the hair. Io hits kind of like a double modified blockbuster kind of thing, but with her feet, I think, and then a big Asai moonsault to the outside, but then Belair takes her down with a series of rolling vertical suplexes and then the big delayed one to cap it off. The action spills to the outside and Bianca catches an Io dive. Rhea joins her and both challengers sling the champion into the crowd barricade. Back in the ring, Rhea throws Io into Bianca with a razor's edge for a near fall. She then locks the prism trap in on Io, but Belair scoops Rhea from behind into a KOD attempt, but Ripley avoids it. They head up top and Belair suplexes both opponents down simultaneously, but then Io takes control with a springboard dropkick and she gets fired up. The crowd love it, they're really behind her, but then Belair charges in with some kind of like pounce or spear out of nowhere. She goes up and hits the 450, but then Rhea is there immediately with the Riptide for a near fall. Finishing moves now starting to occur. Unfortunately, Cole doesn't really do a great job, in my opinion, of making it seem like a convincing finish on commentary. He acts like Rhea's just done like a sidewalk slam or something. Io reverses another Riptide attempt with a DDT, lovely sell from Ripley, who then kicks Io in the head as she charges back at her. Rhea drags Io up to the middle rope for an avalanche Riptide attempt, but Io counters in midair with like a very nice crucifix down to the canvas below. She goes back up and attempts the moonsault, but Rhea kicks her on the way down, and Io rebounds into a KOD from Belair. 1-2, but Rhea just breaks it up in time. Bianca loses her mind at Rhea and talks mad trash. They exchange big stiff strikes and then head up top together, but Belair is headbutted down, so now Io heads up and tries a poison Rana on Ripley, but Rhea catches her and then slings her forwards face first into the ring post. Wow. Belair grabs Rhea and goes for the KOD, but Rhea lands on her feet and hits a big headbutt. Then she goes for the Riptide, but Belair counters that and whips Ripley with the braid. The KOD connects, 1-2, and Io Sky flies in with a moonsault to break the pinfall just in time, and she pins Bianca Belair to retain the title. A breathless and action-packed opening match of Night 2, and all three women did a fantastic job. Next up is the Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Drew comes out first and there's like a Doom sponsorship thing on stage with him, and he pretends like it's his friend and he's wearing some custom gear as well. Damian Priest is played to the ring by Kerry King of Slayer, and he gets fire and stuff, and yeah, these two are ready to go. Or at least Drew is, because he jumps Priest before the bell and they brawl to the outside where Drew suplexes Priest on the ramp. Priest hits Drew with the ring steps though and slides a table into the ring, but Drew regains control of the match and now he hits Priest with the steps a few times. Drew fetches a phone from his brother in the crowd and posts a quick selfie to Twitter. Lovely. He sets up a pair of tables on the outside and then hits his big dive to the outside. Shades of WLC back in the day. Back in the ring, Priest throws a chair into Drew's face to avoid the Claymore, but Drew powers through it and hits the Claymore anyway, but it only gets 2. Drew wraps a chair around Priest's neck and charges for another Claymore, but Priest catches him with a chokeslam for a near fall of his own. Damian beats Drew down with the chair and wedges it in the corner of the ring, but Drew regains control with a spinebuster and then goes for a white noise off the middle rope backwards through a table, but Priest slips out and sends Drew through the table with a huge razor's edge, but McIntyre kicks out just in time. Priest wants South of Heaven on the ring steps, but Drew goes to the eyes and then hits a Future Shock DDT on the ring steps instead for a close near fall of his own. Both men get slowly to their feet and exchange slaps and big right hands and chops. Drew lands a headbutt, but Priest rebounds off the ropes with a big lariat. Priest then goes for old school, but Drew shoves him off the ropes to the outside through those 2 tables set up earlier. Huge moment there in the match, and Priest is now struggling. Drew drags him back into the ring, goes for a Claymore against the chair wedged in the corner, and I'm thinking Priest's going to move, but he doesn't. Drew nails the Claymore into the chair, 1, 2, 3, and McIntyre wins. The ref tries to check on a very hurt Priest after the bell, but Drew forces him away and says, no, you have to raise my hand. Drew leaves victoriously and Priest is seen in the ring telling the ref, I can't breathe. 2 excellent matches in a row. Can we make it 3? Let's find out, because next is the 4-way match for the IC title. Bron Breakker defending against Penta, Dominik Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Penta is of course wearing his mask. Dom comes out in a white lucha mask and struggles to take it off, and the announce team laugh at him, poor Dom. Balor comes out in a mask for a little bit as well. Will Bron have one as well? Sadly not. Breakker goes for an early spear on Dom, who runs out of the way, and then teams with Balor to throw the champion out of the ring. Penta takes control though, sending both heels to the outside and hitting a huge tope onto both. I say heels, but the crowd loved Dom in this one. Penta hypes up the crowd on the outside until Breakker flies into frame out of nowhere and just obliterates him. My goodness, Bron is an exciting man. Bron continues to dominate inside the ring and lands the spear on Dominik, but Balor breaks up the pinfall. Penta now runs through some offense, hitting a drop toe hold to send one Judgment Day member into the other in the corner. He then does his arm break spot on Finn and hooks him up for the Penta driver, but Bron picks up both from behind with a huge double German suplex. Dom now sends Bron to the outside and then sets up for the 3 amigos on Penta. Penta blocks the third one, but Balor helps Dom out and helps deliver the final of the 3 amigos as a double suplex. They try the same thing to Bron Breakker, who of course just suplexes the pair of them instead. The Big Frankensteiner gets 2 for the champion on Finn, but the heels retake control of the match. But then Dom drop kicks Finn over the middle rope and goes for the 619. Finn catches his stablemate and furiously stomps a mud hole, but then Penta grabs Finn from behind and nails the Penta driver, but it only gets 2 as Bron flies in to break up the count. Penta and Bron exchange strikes and then run the ropes together, but Carlito gets involved to low bridge Bron to the outside, allowing Dom to roll up Penta for a near fall. Penta answers back with a destroyer, but then Carlito pulls Penta out of the ring and slams him into the announce table. Carlito then gets up on the announce table, which is very unwise as Bron leaps from one table to the other and spears Carlito through it. Back in the ring, the champion also spears Penta, but here comes Dom from behind to hit Bron with a 619. Dom goes up top, but Finn unbalances him, and now he takes it to the champion, setting him up for the coup de grace and nailing it. Finn makes the cover. Is this his time to win the title? 1-2, and Dom flies in with a frog splash to break up the pinfall, covers his stablemate, and wins the IC title. Yes, this was a similar finish to the first match, but I honestly don't care that much because it was just so fun. Dominik celebrates, the crowd are fully behind him, and we'll have to wait and see what the fallout is in the Judgment Day. Next up, Randy Orton comes out, and it's time for his open challenge. Randy gets on the mic and asks who his opponent is, saying that whoever it is will get their WrestleMania moment, courtesy of the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment, RKO. There's a long pause, and the entranceway slowly opens to reveal none other than the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. I can't even stay unbiased here, man. What a moment. Unbelievable. The two stare each other down, the bell rings, and Randy goes for a quick RKO, but Hendry rolls him up for a near fall. Oh, so close. Joe takes control, I can't believe I'm reporting on this, and sets Randy up for his finisher, the standing ovation, but Randy pokes him in the eyes, and he takes control now with a power slam and the draping DDT. Hendry avoids another RKO attempt and hits the Freak of Nature, his fall-away slam, and nails the kip up and does his spin-around taunt pose, and Randy flies in with an RKO out of nowhere, and that's the win. Oh, man. Orton picks up Hendry and raises his hand a few times, and the crowd love it, and then Randy Orton, because he's Randy Orton, RKOs Joe again. And then he steals the spin around taunt and does the Orton pose instead, and that's the end of the segment, but still, so cool to see. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles is next, and Logan comes out with a selfie drone cam and then multiple camera angles of his entrance all at once. The match begins with a lockup and quite an even start until AJ ends up on the outside. Logan goes for a plancha, but AJ traps him in the apron curtain and beats him down, that wily veteran. Is that what it's called, by the way? The apron curtain? The bit of the apron that flaps down, you know? AJ gets Logan back in the ring, but Logan catches him on the apron and whips him into the ring post before landing his plancha to the outside this time and then taunting Styles, grabbing his drone cam before letting it go, and it flies off into the sky and catches Logan from quite a unique angle, hitting a big frog splash back in the ring. Styles fights back, but Logan hits a big moonsault. AJ kind of saves him, catching him before he lands quite nastily, I think, by the way. Then Styles catches himself on a whip into the corner before turning around and taking it to the cocky Logan. A brainbuster gets 2 and AJ sets up for the Styles clash, but Logan flips out and lands on his feet before grabbing AJ mid-phenomenal forearm attempt and hitting a rolling senton followed by a lion salt for another near fall. A little bit later on, AJ grabs Logan in the Styles clash position, but they're too close to the corner, so he just boots Logan in the spine. Logan escapes to the apron though and hits the buckshot lariat for 2. It's not long though before AJ retakes control and goes for the springboard 450, but he lands on knees only, and then Logan steals the Styles clash. Logan hits it, but AJ I don't want to say he no-sells it, but he gets straight back up and hits a Styles clash of his own, and then he sells it. So I guess the indignation of being hit with his own move caused him to power through temporarily. That's how I'm gonna look at it anyway. Jeff, a member of Logan's entourage, sneaks to ringside and goes to leave the brass knuckles on the apron for Logan to use, but he is stopped by Karrion Kross, who takes them away. AJ gets out the ring and throws Jeff aside, and then Kross tries to convince AJ to use the weapon himself, but AJ throws the brass knuckles away and decks Kross with a big right hand. However, this proves to be AJ's undoing as he gets on the apron but misses the forearm. Logan lands his big right hand, followed by the pulverizer, and defeats AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are up next, defending the tag titles against Lyra Valkyria and her mystery replacement partner after Bayley was found beaten down on the pre-show of night 1. The champions arrive, as does Lyra, with some nice WrestleMania wings on as part of her entrance gear, and her partner is revealed to be the returning Becky Lynch. Huge reception for Becky. Liv Morgan is terrified, and the announce team are even mocking her on the outside. The match begins, and Liv tags out to Raquel straight away, and Becky pretends she's going to do the same before turning back around and clocking Rodriguez with a big right hand. Lyra tags in, and the babyfaces take it to Raquel for a little bit, but then Liv shoves Lyra off the top rope into a mid-air kick from Rodriguez. The heels take control and beat Lyra down in the corner, then Liv hits the Three Amigos and knocks Becky off the apron before getting a near fall on Lyra. Becky tries to get in and take revenge, but the referee stops her, and this is all about building tension for that hot tag to Lynch. Lyra almost gets that hot tag, but Liv is on the outside by this point and drags Becky off the apron heelishly. Becky chases her around the ring, Liv goes back inside, and Raquel cuts off Becky with a big boot to the face. A little bit later on, Lyra eventually does get the hot tag, and Becky takes it to the heels. Liv takes the Bexploder and gets locked in an armbar shortly afterwards, and then Becky transitions into the disarmer, and Liv almost taps, but Raquel breaks things up with a kick to the face. Liv hits Oblivion on Becky shortly afterwards, but Lyra now gets in the ring and breaks up the pinfall attempt just in time. Lyra now dives onto Raquel on the outside, but Raquel catches her, but Lyra turns it into a big DDT on the floor. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Becky hits the manhandle slam and pins Liv Morgan to get the win, and we have new tag team champions. And of course, Lyra is now a double champion, still being the women's IC title holder too. Stone Cold Steve Austin is out next on his quad bike, and he's going quite fast, flying around the ring a couple of times and then crashing into one of the crowd barricades, and it's a bit, I hope everyone's okay. He announces the attendance but doesn't believe it, so starts to count the audience members one by one himself, and the crowd are watting along, but then he's just kidding, guys, what's he like? And then Austin announces the combined entrance total of the two nights and celebrates with some beers. He also goes over and apologizes to a woman who I think fell backwards when he crashed into the barricade in front of her, and it looks like Nick Khan himself is over there talking to her. And yeah, I hope everyone's okay. We also hear commentary at this point. I don't think we were meant to hear it, where they're like laughing and going, oh no, this whole thing's going to explode right now, like this whole situation. So anyway, Austin leaves, and right, on to the main event then. And the main event is, of course, Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against John Cena. John's out wearing a black t-shirt and hat with an entirely blacked out Tron, just displaying his name in plain white. It's very effective, in my opinion. Cody gets a special entrance with dirt bike riders, Radical. They all flank the entranceway, and he comes out in his special entrance mask, which opens on its own and legitimately gets a huge pop in the office here. We were all quite delirious by this point. Cody says hello to his family at ringside. His mum's there, and his daughter, and Brandy, of course, and we get the big ring announcements, and we're ready to go. The bell rings, and the crowd are rabid. it. Cody lands the first blow with a shoulder block, and Cena rolls out to waste a bit of time. Back in the ring, Cena grabs a headlock takeover, but Cody gets out of it and sends him back outside with a drop kick, followed by a big dive. Back in the ring though, Cena starts to take control, dropping Cody with a couple of big rights and stomping away, giving the crowd a bit of a mocking bow, winning a strike exchange by playing dirty and stomping the leg, and even slingshotting Cody throat first into the bottom rope. Cena starts hitting big clotheslines, and Cody's bumping big as well, but kicks out of a pinfall attempt at one. Clearly, there's a long way to go here as Cena continues to grind Cody down with some double axe handles off the middle rope. Cody starts to fight back with right hands, but Cena goes to the eyes to retake control straight away. He gets our first proper near fall of the match as well, with a tornado DDT out of the corner. Cena begins his 5 moves of doom, but it's a really slow heelish version, pausing a long time between each of the moves to get heat. Cody goes to the eye though as Cena sets up for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Cody lands the disaster kick and the Cody cutter, but it only gets 2. Now we get the Dusty Rhodes punches, but Cena avoids the elbow with a drop toe hold and almost gets the STF locked in. Cody gets away, but turns back around into an AA. 1-2. And Cody kicks out. Cena hits the 5-knuckle shuffle now and goes for a second AA, but Cody slips out into a sunset flip, but it only gets 2. Cena whips him into the corner, but Cody does the Ric Flair thing to get over the top rope to the apron. He heads up top, but Cena unbalances him and goes up for an avalanche AA, which he nails, and Cody again kicks out just in time. Cena tries his top rope leg drop, but Cody nicely reverses this, catching him into a powerbomb, which only gets 2. He then hits the step-up Cody cutter out of the corner, but again Cena survives. Cody measures Cena as he rises and hooks him up for the crossroads, but Cena reverses into another AA and then slaps on the STF instantly. Cody struggles to the ropes, but Cena drags him back into the center, and then Cody struggles back towards the ropes again, so Cena drags him back again, but before he can reapply the hold, Cody flips over and kicks Cena away, and Cena collides with the referee in the corner. Uh-oh. Cena goes for another AA, but Cody counters it and nails the Cody cutter and gets a visual pinfall, but of course the referee is now down. Cody checks on the ref as Cena exposes a turnbuckle in the corner and then sends Cody into it, not once but twice, then hits another big AA. The referee is recovered by this point very conveniently and he makes the count, but Cody again kicks out just in time and Cena can't believe it. Now, oh my god, what's that sound? Yes, it's the song Fiend. Travis Scott's music hits and here he comes. He is, of course, Cody's nemesis. Not The Rock, Travis Scott. The match now fully grinds to a halt as Travis Scott very slowly walks to the ring with his hardcore title thing. Cena helps him up on the apron and raises his hand, and then Cena holds Cody back as Travis goes to hit him, which would surely be a DQ, right? But anyway, that never really gets explained. Cody gets out of this predicament and hits the crossroads on Cena. 1-2, and Travis Scott pulls the referee out of the ring. Cody challenges Travis to get in the ring with him, and here he comes. He tells the musician to hit him, but then catches the punch and hits Travis Scott with the crossroads. Cody kicks Travis out of the ring, but then Cena charges with the WWE title belt, but Cody blocks it, and they fight over the belt. It's metaphorical. It's the thing they're fighting over, but then they're literally fighting over it as well. There's layers here, guys. Cody gets control of the belt and wants to hit Cena, who begs off, and Cody hesitates. He's just too much of a babyface. He can't do it, and Cena, of course, hits him with a low blow. Cena then clocks Cody with the belt. Here comes the referee again. 1, 2, and 3. And oh, that's it. John Cena breaks the record and is once again the new WWE champion. Cena celebrates with Travis Scott. We never get an appearance from The Rock, and that's it. John Cena ends the show on top. And I found commentary quite confusing here because surely they should be acting like John Cena is the worst guy in the world for what he's done. And also because Cena is, all through the build, he's been threatening to take the belt away. He'd be the last real champion. WWE would be left with no future. And you got Michael Cole saying like, well, you can't argue with how ruthless John is, and he is unquestionably the GOAT now. And I'm thinking, what am I watching? He's meant to be the worst heel in the world. What's happened? But that's just what I think. Let me know your opinion in the comments section down below. Not just of this main event, but of the whole night 2 of WrestleMania, of course, as well. A huge thank you to Luke and Owen for editing this video, and thank you all for watching as well. I've been Jack from Cultaholic, and I'll see you very soon.